No, God's existence is overwhelmingly clear. Okay. But the clarity of God's existence in creation is not, quote, coercive. Okay. Bob, come on up and offer your criticism. I will listen to your criticism and I will respond, Bob. But if you don't come up, you're going to be muted. Now, I'm going to lay out the ground rules here. You are required to conduct yourself like an adult. Okay? If you don't conduct yourself like an adult and respect our moderation of your behavior, it will be an instant block. Okay? If you dodge reasonable questions, it's going to be an instant block because we don't allow cheating. Now, what are your criticisms, Bob?
Does that work both ways, so to speak?
Bob, you just dodged my question. What are your criticisms?
I did not dodge your question. I was asking.
Okay, that's the second time you dodged. If you dodge one more time,
you're not dodging my question.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, you wife piece of shit.
Yeah, you're blocked.
Yeah, you are a piece of shit and you're a pedo.
Bye. You're blocked. Okay, let me block him on my account as well. So, another brain damaged skeptic, folks. Oh, he already is blocked on my account. What a surprise. For being low class. Welcome, big dog. Did you hear the rules that I gave the previous person?
Yeah, what do you mean when you say behave like an adult?
If you don't understand that statement, then you're not worthy of being spoken to. Okay?
Yeah, like what's your criteria for that going to be?
Okay, so that's strike 2. You get a third strike for giving me a little cheesy teenage response. And by the way, do you think I don't recognize your voice?
Okay. What do you mean?
Okay, yeah, I've talked with you before, haven't I?
You have joined my live once.
Yeah. Okay. So if you do not respond like an adult, you already have 2 strikes. You get a third strike, you're going to get blocked. Now, stop with the cheesy, sleazy, creepy avoidance responses. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, have you heard of the negative ontological argument?
Okay. Are you an atheist?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is your rationale that there is no God?
Yeah, it's going to be the negative ontological argument.
Yeah, I don't need nomenclature. I need you to give me a rationale.
Do you want to hear the argument?
I'm about to block your account if you do not respond to what I'm saying. If you continue with your teenage evasive responses, you already have 2 strikes. Continue to be evasive. I'm going to block you momentarily. I would rather not do that. Now, I want you to give me a rational defense that God does not exist. I do not want you to nomenclature drop. Now, explain to me why there's no God.
Do you know what the argument is, or do you want me to?
Okay, bye. I warned you. Now you're blocked. Okay, bye. See you later. Okay, you see, they can't help themselves. They cannot help themselves. They are mentally and spiritually ill. Welcome, Henrock. What would you like to talk about?
Are you against atheism or for atheism?
We are against atheists. We are Christian theists who defend the existence of Christian theism.
Oh, okay. Well, let me get off then because I'm on your side.
Do you have any questions about defending God's existence?
I mean, I actually really do, because I was debating with somebody on their live who was an atheist,
and I was trying to prove to him that God did exist in many different ways. And I don't know if I went about it the right way, because I tried to prove to him that he was true, trying to use logic of how complex yet precise the human body and the earth and the universe is. But he kept throwing at me like a bunch of different ideas and stuff that I just didn't quite understand. So
what you should do is follow me and listen to my streams on a regular basis, and you'll get an education of the right way of defending the faith. Now, it's not what you said is wrong, but it's flawed because it's incomplete. When we invoke or appeal to the design that is in the world, okay, that is pervasive, I should say the appearance of design, okay? When we appeal to the overwhelming appearance of design, we must do so in the form of a transcendental type of presentation, which means that the contrary is impossible, okay? As opposed to the appeal to the appearance of the design is abductive, meaning an inference to the best of it. It's just call in an exterminator and get rid of them. No, it's not that maybe God has sufficient reasons. God necessarily has his sufficient reasons. Mark Allen, please come up and support your contention that I am a low tear pre-supper. If you do not come up, you will be blocked. Okay? Born again atheist, when you attempt to antagonize, you get blocked. See you later. Repeat your point in contention, Mark.
Oh, just that pre-sub is just low tier bullshit.
Okay, have you read any of Van Til?
Yeah, I read Apologetics.
What works of Van Til have you read?
Apologetics by Van Til.
Oh, the book. I think I've dealt with you before. Have you discussed that with me previously?
I'm not sure.
Okay, can you tell me what the Van Tilian presuppositional rationale is?
Basically, that knowledge and intelligibility need God. We see knowledge and intelligibility, so therefore God must exist.
Okay, and why is that a problem? Why is that rationale?
Because
fallacious?
It's literally affirming the consequent.
No, it is not. What it is saying is that knowledge is that the God of all perfections is a requirement for knowledge with the impossibility of the contrary. So that's not affirming the consequent. Okay. So I'll ask you a question. You see, you're going to get smoked right now. This is going to be embarrassing for you. Okay. In a world where God is, where he is the sum of all perfections, in terms of the set of his perfect character qualities, would they provide the ontological basis for the actualization of knowledge?
I'm not sure, because I'm not sure what the property sets of God are.
Okay, so yeah, see, now you're playing a little. Okay, so how do you know I'm not on the receiving end of what God's properties are?
Because you can't demonstrate or falsify any of the claims.
Okay, can you? Okay, well, first of all, are you bringing up the falsification criterion for God?
Kind of.
Okay, so you understand that God being unfalsifiable is not a vice; it is a virtue. Now, do you operate in terms of the falsification principle?
Generally, yeah, I'm skeptical of any.
Are you using it as a universal criterion?
Not really. I don't really believe in.
Okay, then why does God have to fulfill the falsification criterion and not other propositions? Okay, dude, I don't want to have to block your account, but you're being an incredibly devious and deceitful person. You're attempting to be evasive while pretending to answer my questions, and I have 16 years of experience, and I know precisely what you're doing. Now, If you say that the falsification criterion must apply to God in order for God to be considered to be meaningful or true, why is it that another proposition that is not God escapes the falsification criterion?
So I'm not saying that like the sole reason I don't believe in God is the falsification.
You're not answering my question. Why do other propositional states? Okay, if you're rude, I'm going to block your account, dude. I'm telling you. Okay, good. So you see that, everybody? Did you see that? He just got vanquished. He just got totally annihilated. Okay. So I'm not going to block his account. Well, his account is already blocked. Look at that. Gee, I wonder why. He just got totally defeated. How embarrassing. Snake, come on up and explain why the anger that I display is not justified with people behaving badly. Come on up. Or do you not have the balls to back up your own accusations? I am non-denominational. Okay, please back up your contention, sir.
Yeah, I just want to know, man, do you still beat your boyfriend?
Okay, I'm going to be merciful and not instantly block you. Please back up your accusation that I need anger management. You see, I confront my critics. Back up your accusation with specificity, not slanderous internet rumors. What's your basis that I need anger management?
Can you just can we have a conversation without your blood pressure?
Goodbye.
There you go.
Bye.
There you go.
Yeah, you see, folks, how mentally ill these people are? Bye. You see how mentally ill they are? They make accusations, and then when I ask them to explain it, they don't. This is mental illness on full display. Okay? These people are mentally and spiritually warped and twisted, and they're going to be held accountable when they stand before Jesus Christ. And then they're going to be cast into the lake of fire because they refused to turn to Christ as Savior. Catholicism is a false works gospel. Thomas Aquinas was an extremely brilliant theological and philosopher. Unfortunately, some of his reasoning is flawed in spite of his brilliance. Eastern Orthodoxy is a works gospel cult. Neither Catholicism or Eastern Orthodoxy actually truly exercise or practice apostolic succession. That is a false teaching. Jay Paca, please come up and explain how I'm losing as usual. If you do not come up and explain your accusation, I'm going to block you. So you will not get another warning. Send an invite request, Jay Paca, that I'm losing as usual. You have 10 seconds to send an invite request. Don't send one, or you'll instantly blocked. Okay, Jay Paca, you are now blocked. Oh, look at that. You're already blocked on my account anyway. What a surprise. Welcome card deals. What would you like to talk about? We're waiting. Okay, so once again, we see more mentally ill people on TikTok. The mentally ill skeptics on TikTok are like the grains of sand on the world's beaches. LaForte, come on up. I'll be glad to discuss it with you. Okay. Tell me where I'm wrong, sir.
Bring up a passage, I'll tell you where you're wrong.
No, I did bring up a passage. I said that the Catholic Church teaches a works gospel. Do you disagree?
I do disagree. Based on what passage?
Okay, does the Catholic Church teach that in addition to the acknowledgement of Christ as Savior, that one must, to a certain degree, faithfully practice the sacraments in order to eventually get into heaven?
Yes.
Okay, is faithfully practicing the sacrament a work activity?
Yes.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9 says, "For by grace, undeserved favor, you are saved. It is a gift of God, not a result of works or performance, lest any man should boast."
You're correct. And the instrument it's received by is faith, which is something we do.
This is how dumb you are. All I did was quote the passage.
And by quoting it.
Okay, so by what standard do you say that me merely quoting it is a misunderstanding?
Because I know what free gracers do with that passage. I've been doing this a long time.
That is not a substantive response.
Okay.
So again, by what standard do you say that me merely quoting what Paul says, "For by grace you are saved through faith, that is a gift of God, not a result of works"? All I did was quote the passage. Okay. I didn't give you. I didn't. Hey, dude. If you listen carefully. Okay. If you act like an asshole, that's the quickest way of you getting kicked. I've been doing this for 16 years. I don't put up with immature behavior. You're more than free to disagree with me as long as you conduct yourself like an adult. But when you cross that line and you start acting like an obnoxious teenager, I'm done with you. Now, you made a strategic mistake. All I did was quote the passage. Now, you said that was an inaccurate interpretation. Did I give you an interpretation?
No, you just quoted it.
Okay, so you were wrong when you said I gave an inaccurate interpretation. You just contradict. You know what? You just got caught in a contradiction.
Okay.
Are you man enough to admit that you just got caught in a contradiction?
Sure, I jumped the gun. You didn't make it.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So how does somebody arrive at the remission of sins in your model of reality?
Yeah, through receiving God's mercy and faith, baptism, and confession.
Okay, so it's faith plus a certain degree of performance?
No, that's a misrepresentation.
Okay. No, sir. Faith is belief, trust, and confidence in something. Now, what must one conjoin performance conjoined to faith and trust in Christ as Savior?
So you're interpreting that as performance.
That's a question. Now I'm growing increasingly agitated with your deceptive responses.
Okay, so can you repeat your question?
Yeah. So, in addition to one placing their faith, belief, trust,
I think his mic went out. Hello? I'm trying to work with him, but it is a leading question. That person in the comments was correct. Oh, he's gone. Yeah, to answer his question, these are not quote unquote performance. It's how we receive the mercy of God, just like faith. Faith is a response.
Looks like Darth jumped off.
Come here.
All right.
What? I see your shadow. Can you do something? Anyways, guys, sometimes I pull up my live so that Darth can take it over, and I record them so that I can get nuggets from what he says. And in my presentation of some of his arguments and all the books he has given me, I have a large library because of Darth Dawkins. So Darth is not here anymore, so no need for me to run the live anymore. Oh, he came back. Darth came back. I'm here, Darth. I'm here. All your fans are still in the comments, waiting for you to come back.
No, it froze up.
Yeah, it happens sometimes.
Yeah, Gandhi's. I threaten to kick people if they slander or defame me, and I give them ample opportunity to back up their accusations. And if they refuse to back up their unjustifiable slanderous accusations, then they get blocked. People only get blocked after multiple warnings. All right, I'm going to look that up. Pendulum swing.
Yeah, it keeps the motion going.
Yeah, I'm going to look at a pendulum swing.
That way, when you're live, you don't get warning from about not having any motion.
Gandhi's the stream is owned by Adrian. However, he has authorized me to block people as I see fit, and I give people multiple warnings to avoid getting blocked. Multiple warnings. I steamroll people. That's using thought-terminating cliches. Please come up and explain that. Come on up, Fen. Please explain and defend your accusation. I face my critics. Let's see if you're a real man or just a girly man making accusations. Hey, Fen, I'm not going to ask you again. Mitchell, come on up and back up your claim. Send an invite request. Because if you don't, you're going to get blocked for lying about me. I'm giving you an opportunity to avoid getting blocked. When you say I run from my critics, I don't face my critics, that is a lie. If you do not come up, then you are lying. You're going to get blocked. So notice he will not come up on stage and defend his accusation. Okay, all right, you're done, Mitchell. Oh, look at that! Mitchell's blocked on my account anyway. What a surprise! How'd that happen? Well, all I have are these morons, these intellectual munchkins who like to accuse, but they don't like to support their accusation. Come on up, LaFort.
All right, you guys hear me?
I want you to give me a specific example of how I ask loaded questions.
Exactly. So this is one you just did. You said, "Oh, so in addition to faith, you include performance when the Bible says not of works." That's a loaded question because we haven't even defined what those terms mean.
What does the word faith mean?
Yeah, you defined it fine earlier. You could do trust, confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Okay. If you continue to play your little games like you did the last time, you're going to be finished and you won't get the luxury of talking with me again. I do not tolerate deceitfulness. Now, what is the definition of faith?
I just answered you. Trust, confidence.
Okay. Is it a mental state?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Does that mental state necessitate a beyond mental state physical activity?
Faith itself, no.
Okay. So that is faith alone the requirement for the remission of sins, or is it faith plus?
Faith plus, because that's the instrument.
Okay. So you have yet to show how I asked a loaded question. Do you realize that?
Well, you left out the performance thing you said.
Okay, dude, I'm really getting pissed with you because you're continuing to be dishonest. So that's the second or the third time I asked you to specify how I invoked a loaded question, and you have yet to specify that. Do you realize so far you have literally not given specification of how I ask a loaded question?
Am I allowed to?
Okay. Can you repeat back to me the last question I asked you?
Yeah, you asked me what was faith. You asked me to define faith.
No. Okay. Wow. You are effing stupid.
Okay.
You are literally.
That's a good argument.
No, it's not an argument. Okay. Hey, sir. This is my final warning to you. If you do not start responding to me in adult manner, you're going to get blocked on my account and on this stream. You couldn't even repeat to me the last question I asked you. Okay? Now, I asked you, the last question I asked you was, do you realize that so far you have not given me any specification of a loaded question I asked? Do you realize that you have not done that?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so you fucked up, didn't you?
If you want to believe that, you can.
Did you? Okay, you know what? Good. Now you fucked up for the final time.
All right, great, buddy.
Yeah. Now you're blocked because you're a dishonest person. By the way, excuse my French, everybody. I apologize. But what a despicable person that guy is. Okay, you see how dishonest they are. Says man, come on up and support your contention. Okay. If you don't, you're getting muted for being a drive-by heckler. Sincere, come on up here and back up your claim that I'm immature and incompetent. If you don't, you're getting muted. Okay? All right, let's see. Give me a second. Okay, Sincere, you did not send an invite request. You're now getting muted. Okay, so repeat your accusation, says Ben.
Which one?
The last one that I read. You said there's actually more proof for the existence of Santa Claus.
Actually, Santa Claus was named after a man called Saint Nicholas.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Listen, I can tell right off the bat that you're dumb. Okay. Now, when we talk about Santa Claus in general parlance, we're talking about the depiction of a jolly man in a red suit riding on a sleigh with reindeer, delivering presents to children all over the world. Okay? Is that what you're referring to as Santa Claus?
Well, actually, that's a newer version of it.
No. Okay. How old are you?
64.
Okay, well, we're the same age, okay? Now, what you just said is colossally stupid. So what you're talking about is the etymological source or the historical source of a human being called Saint Nicholas. But Santa Claus, in the modern usage, unless it's qualified, will always refer to the fictional character of somebody who lives at the North Pole. Okay? So when you said, listen, do not interrupt me. That's the quickest way to get blocked. Now, When you invoke the word Santa Claus without qualification, were you referring to the fictional character that lives at the North Pole, or were you referring to the historical origin of the fictional character?
The historical version.
Okay, so you blundered there because you did not invoke qualification, because 99% of the time and more, when people use the word Santa Claus in the English speaking world, we're referring to, with rare exception, the fictional character at the North Pole. Okay?
Well,
now, are you an atheist?
yes.
Okay. So, is your God denialism rational?
I believe so.
Good. What is the rational justification that there is no God?
Well, there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever.
Okay. Is that a sustainable claim?
I believe so, yes.
Good. Now, before you answer that question, does it logically and necessarily follow from the claim there's no evidence, therefore no God?
I don't get what you're saying.
I'll repeat the question. Does it logically and necessarily follow from the claim that there's no evidence for God, therefore God does not in fact exist?
Yeah, I mean,
okay,
logic.
wrong. Okay, wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, it does not logically and necessarily follow, because when you say that there's no evidence for God, what you're invoking is a state of ignorance, that you are unaware that anything in the world that presents itself to you necessarily indicates God. Or do you mean that the world as it presents itself to you, demonstrates complete and utter God independence? Which do you mean?
I'm not quite following what you're...
When you say there's no evidence for God, do you mean that you are in a state of ignorance of anything indicating God? Or do you mean when you say there's no evidence for God that the world is evidence of utter independence from God?
I would say it's independence. It's because God does not...
Good, excellent. Now we're making progress. Is that a sustainable claim that the world as it presents itself to you necessarily, with logical necessity, exists with independence from God? Is that something that you can sustain?
Well,
yes or no? Can you sustain that the world can be defended to be God independent?
Yes, I totally
Good.
believe.
Okay, excellent. Good. Can you show me how any state of affairs necessarily exists with God independence without an appeal to ignorance fallacy? How did you determine that any state of affairs exists with complete and utter independence from a creator?
Well, like I say, there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever.
What you're doing is you're repeating the same claim, which I asked you to defend. Repeating the same claim is not defending the claim. Now, you said the statement that there's no evidence for God means that the world exists as being independent from God. Please tell me how you know that.
Through study, through history.
That's a generalization. That is not an informative answer. How did you determine that any state of affairs exists with independence from a creator God?
Through education.
That is a non-informative answer. That's the second time you gave me a completely non-informative answer. How did you determine that anything exists with independence from God?
No, sir. So why is she doing that about
I mean, I don't know what you want
Bacadino.
me to say.
I want you to explain to me how you determine
Go
that
Ladina beat,
anything
man.
or everything exists with independence from God.
Well, like I say, there's absolutely no evidence of a God.
Okay, do you understand you're repeating the same claim that I'm asking you to defend?
That's okay. There's no
Do
time.
do you realize what you're doing? Okay, so there here I demonstrated conclusively, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that skeptic was utterly irrational. He could not defend his atheist cliche that there's no evidence for God. So what did he do? Like the girly man that most skeptics are, he ran away in order to avoid further embarrassment of the irrationality of his God denialism.
I mean, he represented. He was representing what most atheists have. That's all they have, Darth. Right. That's all they have.
He was the quintessential representation of an atheist, and he failed colossally.
Yeah, atheist talking points. That's all he had. Atheist talking points.
Yeah, I mean, this was a devastating expose. Welcome, Fluffy. What would you like to talk about?
Like you, because you are, as I've seen,
your microphone. Your microphone is problematic.
Is that better?
Yeah, go ahead. Speak slow, please.
So I've seen some of your lives, and I recognise the pattern of how you ask questions and how you frame things, and it is, I'll give you credit, it is very clever. I will give you credit for that. I should preface all this with, I am not attacking your religion. I am not trying to disprove anything to you of your religion or any other religion. I think it's great that people have all kinds of faiths and beliefs. I think that is superb for people. So having said that, what I would like you to do, Darth, because it's essentially what you ask everyone else to do, is I would like you to disprove the Egyptian gods without using your Christian gods.
Okay.
Can you do that?
That's a fallacy, because the Christian God will be the single causal ontological referent in order to establish what is and cannot be.
No, I'm asking you to do what
you didn't understand. You didn't understand what I'm saying here. Okay. So dude, if you're going to be obnoxious and rude, I'll just kick you. Okay.
Go ahead.
Now, what you're asking me to do is to affirm or deny something with the exclusion of my worldview. Is that correct?
No.
Okay. So when I affirm and deny something, is it permissible from your perspective to do it from within the context of my model of reality?
Yes.
Okay. So the Egyptian gods do not exist, because the ultimate creator who does exist and has revealed himself in a positive propositional way through natural and special revelation has revealed that no other gods actually ontologically exist, with the impossibility of the God of the Bible's rational denial. Okay, so what I gave you was an argument that entails a reductio ad absurdum, that of the impossibility of the rational denial of the positive propositional representation. Okay, so the revelation of God himself, when understood, falsifies that there are other gods. If you do not find that acceptable, then you are making an implicit counterclaim, which you are going to have to explain.
No, I wasn't. I'm not making an implicit counterclaim at all. I'm simply asking.
If you don't accept,
come and let me speak.
Look, dude, I'm going to respond to you. If you do not accept the rationale that I've given, Your non-acceptance constitutes a de facto denial. Are we clear?
In your opinion, yes.
No. Okay. In your opinion, you're wrong. Okay. I can play that little adolescent game. So do you understand that if I invoke an absolute, and that absolute has universal coverage, if you don't accept that, that is a de facto denial. It's not a formal denial. It's not an explicit denial. Can propositions be denied indirectly?
If you can't do it, that's fine.
Okay, I'm not getting a clear answer. I'll repeat the question that you dodged. Can propositions?
You don't answer mine.
Okay,
you
okay,
don't
all
answer
right,
mine.
goodbye.
That's fine. I'll go. If you can't do it, that's a shame.
Bye. And so what they do is they implode because they get intellectually cooked. Okay, it's that simple.
And the question was, you should try and disprove those gods without appealing to Yahweh, without appealing to your worldview. That's what he said.
Yeah. Disprove these alternate worldviews, but you can't use your worldview. How stupid is that?
Yeah, if somebody asked me to do that, I would tell them, no, I'm not going to do that because you're asking me to do something that you can't even do yourself.
Yeah, these people are really stupid. Okay. So these people are worse than intellectual lightweights. You know, but at least a few of them have the courage to come up here. But then what happens is they face immense embarrassment. Okay. Seth, come on up and explain how I'm obnoxious. Come on up, Seth. And if you're a Christian, you are required by the Lord Jesus Christ to back up your accusation. Otherwise, you're a slanderer. Come on up, Seth. Back up your claim that I am obnoxious.
You gotta go easy, man. You know, the scripture says knowledge puffs up, and I don't know if you're out here to win souls or win arguments, brother, but you're a little bit too aggressive, man. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. You're a lot too aggressive.
Okay, so how is anything what you said a defense that I'm obnoxious?
Bro, I'm not defending anything. I'm telling you, you need to reflect.
Okay, Seth, why did I bring Seth? Okay, I want you to put on your thinking cap.
See?
What was the reason I brought you up here? Seth, please do not be rude. Seth, I don't want to have to remove you. Seth, you are being rude and out of line right now. Okay?
What did
you are
I say
not
that
acting. Seth, you keep on interrupting me.
Identify how I was.
Hey, Seth, if you interrupt me again while I am speaking, that will qualify as being obnoxious, and I will block your account on this stream and my account as well. So please do not interrupt me.
I don't follow you, brother.
Okay. Goodbye. You're blocked. See ya. Yeah, you're being blocked because you're actually being obnoxious. See you later. Right. You're blocked. Right. Okay, so the guy comes up here, accuses me of being obnoxious, and then the whole time he's up here, he's being obnoxious. I mean, this is just rich. You just can't make this stuff up. Absolutely rich. Welcome, Stephen. Welcome, Stephen.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm making a choice that mistake. I'm a Christian.
Speak slowly.
I said,
Stephen.
I made the request by mistake. Yeah,
okay, all right. Okay. TikTok is a ocean of grains of sand, each of which are characteristically stupid. Yeah, it's amazing how many low class, low character, and low intelligent people that we have to deal with. And even after you warn them multiple times of the consequences of them being rude, obnoxious, they still continue in their bad behavior. That's why the prisons of the world are so filled, because people are bound and determined to behave badly. Kane, come on up. I'll be glad to explain to you the clarity of God's existence. Okay.
You know, even if you give a valid argument, they still won't believe. They talk as though if they get an argument, they
So before I explain to you the clarity of God's existence, are you an atheist?
Don't act silly. We've talked before. Stop.
Okay, sir, I talk with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. If you act any further in an unbecoming non-adult manner, it's going to be an instant block, which I would rather not do. Are you an atheist?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the world as it presents itself to us is an overwhelming, clear indication of that which actualizes it. Do you agree with that?
That which actualizes it is energy.
Yeah, so there is something that actualizes the world, and the world is a clear, emblematic conveyance to us of that which actualizes the world. Do you agree with that?
Right, and that actualization is
okay.
Energy.
We're going one step at a time.
Energy is not eternal.
Are we in agreement that the world is clearly indicative and emblematic of that which actualizes it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the world overwhelmingly, as we examine it from the smallest possible scale all the way up to the cosmological level, overwhelmingly and uncontroversially displays a beyond mind-boggling array of complex form and function. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Complex form and function is routinely in the English language cashed out by the word design. Okay? So the world, okay, this is not controversial, nor is it debatable. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now, sir, you're barking up the wrong tree, because there are dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of atheist academics that talk about the complex form, function, and structure. They refer to it as design. So are you familiar with Stephen Hawking?
I disagree with your first premise. Yes.
Okay, sir, that's because you are uninformed. Now, do you know who Stephen Hawking was?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Stephen Hawking was an atheist. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, he was an extremely brilliant man. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. He was renowned in his brilliance. He wrote a book called The Grand Design. Are you aware of that?
Play on words. Don't mean it.
Okay, sir, did he refer to the overall composite form, complex form and function of the world? Did he refer to it as the grand design?
Play on words. Don't mean it was actually.
Okay, sir, okay, now you're being devious and deceitful. I've asked you the question, I think, 3 times. Okay, goodbye. You're done. Okay, you see what devious and deceitful people that I have to deal with.
If he was honest, he knew where this was going, so he had to deny. He had to try and answer different questions.
Because he could see that I'm walking through this discursively, step by step, methodically, and he didn't like where it was leading.
No, he didn't like it. He didn't like it. And
No,
notice
and that-
you
so
did
that's
not. You
why-
didn't.
that's
You didn't
why-
ask him. You didn't ask him if it was a play on words. You asked him a specific question. Did he
Yeah, I
write a
said,
book?
Did he? And it's the title of his book. It's called The Grand Design.
All he had to do was say yes. That's all he had to do. Say yes.
Yeah.
That's all.
So you see, they have such, their depravity shows itself that they are ethically compromised. They are utterly hostile to the idea of acknowledging the necessity and the clarity of God.
Yeah.
So they will not agree. They will not agree even with the simplest of uncontroversial notions that may, if agreed to, lead to theological significance.
Yeah, because the truth is they don't want to believe in God. They don't want there to be a God. That's the truth.
They don't want to grant any stepping stones to the conclusion. Okay? So, you see, look, I've been doing this for 16 years. I've been doing this virtually on a daily basis. Every atheist that I've dealt with, in varying degrees, some worse than others, some less worse, they all are deceitful and dishonest when you try to talk with them on a step-by-step basis. Okay? And that's another example of their deceitfulness. The Bible calls it the suppression of the truth in unrighteousness. And they do this morning, noon, and night. You ask them the simplest of questions. Okay? The simplest of questions, and they give completely disingenuous, dishonest answers. Okay? So Richard Dawkins, in speaking of biology, says biology is the study of incredibly complex things that have the appearance of design, but were not. Okay? Now, if the complex form and function of biological systems, including DNA, have the appearance of design, then the rest of the world equally would have the appearance of design as well. They don't want to acknowledge that the world has an appearance of design because that may lead them that they might have to admit that it is designed. So they will deny even something that they know is true.
Yeah, because again, they don't want there to be a God. And what is really funny is atheists will ask you for a valid argument as if you give them one, they're going to believe. They're not going to believe.
Notice how I'm giving him a step-by-step rational explication for the clarity of God's existence. And immediately, partway through it, he just becomes dishonest.
And look at that stupid one right there. It does not have appearance of design.
Come on, Hugo. Come on up.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Hugo. Do you know who Richard Dawkins is?
Can you call God up on this panel if he's real?
Okay, Hugo, I don't want to have
Darth,
to. Okay, please do not enter.
Okay,
Please do not
get him out of here. Get this stupid ass out of here.
If you don't stop behaving, okay.
He had to go. The guy's stupid. No, he had to go.
Did you remove him?
Yeah.
Okay, Hugo, come on up. I'm going to give you another chance. Okay?
It's a waste of time.
If you don't come up again, Hugo, I will block your account. If you do come up and act like a horse's ass, I will block you anyway. I would rather not do that. Okay, let me block his account, and then we'll get to the other people wanting to block him. See, you see their mental illness on full display. You see the mental illness. Okay, let's bring up Gruber. The other people in the queue will be with you momentarily. Welcome, Gruber. What would you like to talk about?
Wanker.
Okay, let's get rid of him. Okay, another mentally ill person. Let's block his account. Oh, he's already blocked on my account. What a surprise. What a surprise. All right, let's bring up Kane, and then we'll get to Stephen. Kane, weren't you up here recently? Kane, were you up here recently?
Yes, I was.
Okay, why were you ejected?
Because I told you that it was prescriptive and not descriptive, and you got butthurt.
Okay, why are you acting like an asshole teenager like that?
I'm not.
Saying it butthurt? I don't get butthurt. I intellectually disagree with my opponents. So what did you say was descriptive and not prescriptive?
About the apparent design appearance.
Okay, so yeah, saying that there is prescriptive without descriptive. Okay, is there listen, and if you dodge any question I put to you without further warning, if you dodge the question, it's an instant block. Okay, and I would rather not do that. But I'm, as Joker said in the Dark Knight, I'm a man of my word. Do not interrupt me while I'm talking. Okay, now. Does the world display from the smallest to the grandest scale? Is there an appearance of design?
Some people would say.
No, okay, that's a dodge. Goodbye, you're done.
No, it's not a dodge.
Okay, sir, does the world appear to be designed?
Some people would say so.
Goodbye, you're blocked. Okay,
why is that right? Are you
bye? Yeah, you're already blocked on my account anyway. What a shocker. See you later.
Scared?
You see how dishonest they are? So rather than saying, yes, the world appears to be designed, no, it doesn't appear to be designed, he gives me a deceitful, evasive answer. Okay,
I mean,
no,
Darth, if they say no, I kick them right away because that's a crazy person.
Okay. All right, let's go. Okay. Welcome.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, if you don't start.
I don't want you to waste my time, so just prove to me how Christianity is real.
Okay, Christianity is real because God has revealed himself through natural revelation. And if you interrupt me one more time when I am answering you...
Blah. Go on already. Get to the point.
Okay, yeah, you're mentally ill. Goodbye.
Like you.
Yeah, you're already blocked on my account. Okay, see, you're proof again.
You block anyone, snowflake.
Bye. Not a snowflake. It's just that I have high standards. I'm not going to talk with people who are mentally ill. Okay. Resurrected skeptic, come on up and defend your accusation that I'm afraid to debate. Okay, if you do not come up and back up your accusation, you are going to be blocked. Final warning, Resurrected. If you don't come up and defend your accusation, you're going to get blocked. Okay, he's refusing to come up. He's now getting blocked. And we will... You see, there's this pattern of behavior that we see occurring over and over and over and over and over again, that the skeptics are mentally ill. Okay, this type of behavior is mental illness. Okay. No, transcendental is referring to that there is an above and beyond or external or extrinsic reason why something is. Okay, Pedro, you're going to get blocked because you're trolling, and you're already blocked on my account anyway. So when you get blocked because you troll on my account, and then you come in here and you troll, then you're blocked. Okay, get rid of him. No, Captain. I'm the same. I am every day.
Yeah. Yeah, me in life. I'm come.
The use of the word transcendental here means in order for X to be true, Y must be true. Okay? And without Y, X could not be true. So, Y, let me just see. Okay, Y is a transcendental necessity for X. So we do not find any intellectual unbelievers. We do not have any unbelievers that demonstrate character, class, or intelligence.
All right, everybody. That is it for the day. Done for the day. I'm going to go do some reading and studying because I'm done for the day. You guys have a good one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. My favorite part of the video was that one guy who just displayed exactly what atheists have. That's all they have. That's all they have. All you guys have are fallacies when you try to defend your atheism. That's why you never want to defend it. All you want to do is negate, and say, nah, nah. But I'm glad Darth could show the truth about atheism. You guys have nothing. Nothing at all. Anyways, peace out.